let's kick things off with just a knife through my heart. My sister's houseplant setup. My sister, my own blood, that is her houseplant setup. Clearly, I have not been home in a little bit and she needs a houseplant pep talk. Sorry, Steph, I love you so much. But it's okay because she's learning and she's trying, so that's what this is all about. Okay, the next houseplant setup is from Makayla, and she is actually the person that recommended I do this video, so obviously I had to put her right at the front. I loved her houseplant setup. This is just like a flex a little bit. Like, okay, there's like the Thai constellation poking out in the corner. The one thing, I think that these lights probably work, but the little noodle lights always just cracked me up. Like, I understand why they're effective and efficient, but I don't know, there's something about them. They remind me of little octopuses. So while I can't really roast you because they seem to be doing a perfect job, I don't know, they're just funny to me. Moving on. Sorry, I am also working my full-time job right now. Hopefully they never find this video. Next we have Kenneth. Let me find his little pic. Kenneth also has noodle lights. Let's take a look here. Oh, I love this. He has like all of his houseplants kind of bunched up together along with the humidifier. So he probably has really good humidity going, and clearly there's no window around here, hence the noodle light. The only thing I'm gonna say really for like setups like this is an infestation nightmare. If one plant gets a pest, they're all probably going to have that pest because the leaves are touching. Why do I know that? Because that's exactly the setup that I have going on, because you probably only have a few optimal like places in your apartment and you're gonna want to shove all of your plants there. So I'm not even really like saying you have to fix that. That's just the truth of having a lot of plants in one space. Next, we have a setup from Alice. Let me pull her up. I'm gonna say that for everybody because I gotta find them. I remember your username had a bunch of E's. Oh my god, okay, so her setup is wild. It is literally Barbie Dream House. Her watering can is neon pink. She also specifically got pink colored plants, I'm noticing. I found this to be such a cute little setup because clearly it reflects who she is as a person. The only thing is she said she painted the terracotta. So I would say it seems to be working just fine for her, but if you're painting the terracotta, be careful because it will kind of hold in a little bit more moisture than if you just have some bare terracotta. Great job, Alice. Giving you 5 stars. And a bonus star for the watering can, 6 stars. Okay, moving on. We gotta be snappy, we gotta be snappy. I have so many. Okay, Lauren. I'm not judging anyone's house decor at all, but I do have to say that this old man serving her drink statue is a flex. That's kind of hilarious to me. I love that. As far as the plant setup goes, this is a wonderful example of taking advantage of a large and bright window, but making sure that it is indirect light, because a lot of plants, especially if they're not succulents, are going to burn being right in front of a bright window. So she does have that little sheer curtain going on, which not only lets the light through, but it will prevent some burning. I'm being so creepy. I'm like zooming into these pictures to really get a good taste of what I have going on. Oh, we have matching humidifiers. Next, we have a massive bird of paradise from Plant Mama Tatiana. Shout out Plant Mama Tatiana. If you're not subscribed, go do so. Please roast how my bird of paradise is a fire hazard, because I guess both of those little gray things are doors and the foliage is just completely blocking that. I will say that's dedication. I really like that. What I'll talk about with this picture is how important it is to give plants space to grow out, which she is doing. If you are putting a bigger plant in an area of your home where there's a lot of like foot traffic, you should just be careful about leaf tears and kind of rubbing up against the leaves too much. She looks like she's doing a good job with that because I don't see any leaf tears. Lauren, let's find Lauren. The photo expired, sorry Lauren. Okay, moving on to Svetlana. First of all, if you don't watch her channel, Firefly in the Room, get your little butt over there. I love her channel so much. If you don't already watch her channel, please go ahead and check her out. She is awesome. And I'm honored that she submitted her plant setup. I absolutely have to give her 10 out of 10 already because I love the layering of the different plant heights. I think that looks beautiful. And then obviously with the dog, you get like 5 extra points. So that's her dog Rocky, and I'm obsessed. If I tried to get Meek to pose for a picture like that, it would be a disaster. And what I will say for the office setup, she seems to be doing a good job because I see lots of light going in there, but honestly, those plants usually don't do that well in an office setting if you don't have a luxurious office with big windows. If you are a cubicle gal like me and you don't have windows, do not bring a cactus in there. Go with like a snake plant or like a baby little ZZ Raven plant. RIP to all of the houseplants that are sitting in offices right now untouched, probably dead. I had a Dracaena on my desk, but I actually quit my job like a week before everybody started working from home, so that Dracaena made it home with me. If you haven't traveled on public transportation with a plant, you are missing like a layer of character development. Maybe that's just me, maybe other people don't care, but very humbling because that was before the houseplant craze too. Okay, anyway, moving on. Oh, we have Fiona. Now, Fiona flexed on all of us and made a whole entire graphic for us. Let me show you. Yeah, she made a whole graphic with labels and a floor plan and everything. So props to you, Fiona, you win. This is actually a great example. We can dive a little bit deeper into like setups and less about me traveling with plants on public. She has 2 windows and 3 different plant setups going. This is a great example of a person who is clearly shopping for their space. They know what their lighting is, and they're not trying to cram like, I don't know, a bird of paradise or certain succulents into their space when they know it's not going to do that well. I am really impressed with this, not only the layout and the graphic, but also her curation kind of the plants in her space. That was a very good example of shopping for your space. Props to you, Fiona. Okay, next we have a photo from Jules, and what I found funny was she said, "Please don't roast me," and then sent me this picture. You guys are playing with me. You know your setups are beautiful. You want to see me fail. Anyway, I really like this setup for many reasons. I like how they took advantage of the space under the TV. They clearly put a grow light under there, and it looks like it's keeping all of the plants happy. Your rattlesnake calathea does look a little thirsty, I will say. The only other thing that I will say, I love your windows. Your windows are beautiful, but just be careful once the winter months come around. I'm not sure where you live actually, that they are not, you know, clinging onto the windows and getting damaged from that frost. I think that's the only minus from large windows like that, is during the colder seasons when they're just radiating cold gray air. You know what I mean? Next we have a photo from Sabrina. Well, we actually have 2 photos. And again, she was very smart with her plant setup. So she has a window and a grow light, and I can see that she puts some plants that like light under there. So she has some variegated plants, she has a micans, whereas on the shelf that's kind of farther away from her window, she probably wanted some extra green, and so she put a snake plant and a ZZ plant there, and that's literally perfect. I do want to point out that she's wearing Crocs. That was divisive here in the Good and Planty household. Some people are very big Croc lovers and some aren't. I will let you choose what side you think I'm on. Do you think I'm a Croc lover or a Croc hater? I also love your Syngonium. Your Syngonium is beautiful. Next we have a photo from Kaila, and this is a pretty straightforward and solid plant setup. We have a large window with a beautiful view and a bunch of plants that love sun. So honestly, like, I don't really have anything to add. If that's a south-facing window, they might want a little bit more of indirect light, but it doesn't look like her plants are scorched and suffering. I think that this is a lovely home, a lovely setup, very straightforward and easy for pretty much anyone to do. So good job, Kayla. Next up we have My Creative Jungle, and I really don't have anything bad to say about these pictures at all. It looks like you just picked this out of a Pinterest board and put it in my DMs. I think I'm seeing some fake houseplants, so that's a little bit bold, I will say. But all in all, everybody looks pretty happy, and in the second picture, it looks like there is strong light coming off of whatever window is over there. So I would assume that all of these plants are getting a decent amount of light. And to be fair, the fake plants are in areas that probably don't receive a lot of light. I will bet you, however, like 20 bucks that string of hearts is completely bald on top. And that is my first roast. Next up, we have a personal friend of mine, an incredibly talented photographer. Please check out her photography account. I will put it down below. I love the way that she has her plants set up. There are like big plants and little plants and layering, and some on the ceiling and some on the floor. I also will say that the Aglaonema in a macrame hanger is a bold choice because those aren't trailing plants, but personally I love doing that, especially for plants that like to grow out. If you're running out of space on the ground and on shelves, you know, look up. The croton and rubber tree might appreciate a little bit of more light directly next to the window. But again, we're talking about real apartments. You know, I can go over the ideal position for every single plant, but the truth is we want things to look good and we don't have like the perfect space for every plant. So that's like, this is kind of an example of a situation where even though a plant might be happier somewhere else, it doesn't have to be moved there. Anyway, so hey Casey, oh my gosh, you watch my videos? That's fun. I'm blushing. Next we have Amanda. Let's go look. Now, Amanda exposed herself for only having one syngonium, so I am going to highlight that. Why do you only have one syngonium? But I do follow her on Instagram, and she always has like a very nice like layout of plants. It looks really good. They're all getting sunlight. They have their stakes. I also have the same pots as you. So, okay, next up we have another friend of the channel. We have Kella. Kella's houseplant setup is actually super cool because she lives in a basement with no windows. So she defies all odds and has a full plant collection that is absolutely happy and thriving, and she does that clearly with a lot of grow lights and shelving. Just because you live in a low light situation does not mean that you can't have a thriving plant collection. Definitely curates a really solid collection. I love it. She also has a beautiful chair that she thrifted. A lot of you have really nice chairs, and I'm like inspired to get my own reading chair now. Also, I'll give a bonus point for the cat, even though I'm not a cat person, but I'm feeling generous. Okay, next we have Gerri, and this is just an example of a home that I really loved and wanted to highlight. I really like how, you know, you can really tailor your plant collection to look and feel how you want, and you can just tell that with her decor, her cute little positive message, and her little reading chair, which once again I am jealous. I really like the setup. Everything looks really good. She's got the proper lighting. Is it a pest nightmare? Yes, but we're moving on because I already covered that. Okay, and lastly we have a house that looks like it was decorated by HGTV. It is this beautiful little tiny plant setup from Jill. She did say that she moves the plants out from this area into the middle of the room sometimes to soak up light, and I really have to give her props for that. That would be my critique, is that these plants are probably not getting enough light from what I see, especially the alocasia poly. But if you are committed enough to pull out your plants and give them a little like sun drink once in a while, that's pretty cool. I have to give you props, and it seems to be working for her. The plants look really happy. So props to you, Jill. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had some fun looking at other houseplant setups. I know I'm nosy. I love poking in people's little collections and seeing what they have going on. I definitely took some notes from all of you. My plant collection needs an upgrade now. If you don't subscribe to my channel, please do so, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!